Okay, so for this particular activity, we're looking at tags, and so I've provided this model for you to bring into SketchUp. It's just one I grabbed from the warehouse of a small home, and this model is probably not a bad one to do this activity with because they really haven't tagged much in it. So if I see that everything is within the one group here, but if I dive in, and I start to turn the visibility on and off of these tags, I can see there's a plant there that is on this tag. There's not really much. There's one item flashing on and off that looks like a pillow on the couch. But yeah, most of these I go through and there's really not too much tagged here. So like for example, we could make some tags. Let's call it walls. So let's have a look. Did that tag go in? Yep, there it is there. Maybe could do windows, maybe another one for roof. I see we've already got one for furniture we could add things to. So what you could do, maybe we'll do one for garden. All right, so with tagging, there's a few ways you can do it. You could click on the item. Now you can see I've got in my default tray over here, entity info, I had that opened. Now when I clicked on that external wall, it says untagged. So I could just go down to here and tag it to walls. Let's have a look at what happens now when I turn the visibility off on this. Hold on. Okay, so those walls disappear. So it's really helpful with tagging just to be able to turn certain items off, particularly walls and roofs and things like that if you want to dive down and look inside a home. So your challenge here, and I'll just do maybe a couple more, but I'll show you another way you can do this as well. Once again, you need to be inside the group. That roof I want to tag. So instead of, I can see if I click on it, yep, it does select. So another option you have is go to your tag, in this case roof. There it is there. And make that the one that's selected. Then you can go to the tag icon here and you can apply that tag to roof. So let's see if that's worked for us. Hit space and exit this. Okay, and you can see quite easily you've turned off the roof and you can get some good visibility on what's going in there, which might help us out actually with tagging some of the other items in here. So if we were to go down on a top-down view, and maybe I'll go from camera from perspective to parallel, and then we start to look at tagging some of the other items. So let's have a look at furniture, for example. Now you need to make sure the item is highlighting, so I can see that couch is in a group, so I'm happy to just select it once, and I could go down to furniture. Yeah, I can put that in there. I can see that's another group of items that I would also put in that category. Maybe I'll pop that in there as well. Okay, and you can soon work your way around and start to organize this home. So I can see I've got a garden there and I've got a couple of trees. Maybe I'll go to that. And because garden was turned off visibility, that's why they disappeared straight away. So let's have a look at furniture now. Okay, so tagging is really great for organization, but I guess one of the key things to emphasize is grouping comes before tagging. So when I'm modeling something, I group it and then tag it. So just with that, like if I was to draw a rectangle, maybe I made something push-pull or make this into a solid object. When I do, let's say, triple click on this item and group it, okay, it says untagged, so it gives me the option right away when I group it, do I want to tag this, and maybe, let's say I'll put this on furniture in this case. All right, so when I turn my furniture off, Yeah. So yeah, grouping definitely comes before tagging. It's not the end of the world if you don't tag. Like in this instance here, this house was still, perfectly designed. But yeah, if I want to be able to just take the roof off or look at certain elements or turn certain elements on and off, that's where tagging comes in to be really handy. So my approach is always tag it as I go along, as I'm creating my model, but I definitely group first, then tag. And then also just keep this a bit organized by deleting unused ones. Often you'll bring in items from the warehouse that'll have some random tags in here that don't do much, so you could keep that tidy as well. All right, so hopefully that's some helpful information on tagging. I guess one more real quick just example is pulling something, this would be a pretty common approach, is grabbing something from the warehouse and bringing it into your model. Let's do this one here. We'll grab that chair. All right, so, and as you can see, it's selected, it's untagged, and I could straight away put that in my furniture tag. So keeping it organized. Okay, so just final couple of things with this is you can, with a model, a simple model, you might not have that many tags, but like when you start to get a pretty complex model, you might be doing a multi-story house, you do end up with a lot of tags. So what is handy here is the folder structure. So you can create a folder. I just created one, hit add there, and it's added a folder. And you can rename this folder. Let's go, maybe I've got level 1. And then you can see I've actually added one of my tags to it. And if I drag this one here, now I've added multiple things to my level 1. So it does really help the folder structure if you are starting to get complex models. And you can sort of categorize what you want your tags to be on. So there is that there. You do also have the ability to purge. So purge is a good feature. So if I click on the top one here and go purge, what it will do is it will get rid of tags that aren't being used, that have no geometry associated with them. So that will clean up what can be a bit of a messy area sometimes. So yeah, those are a couple of good organizational tips. Oh, and by the way, you can also just delete any tag, right click, delete tag, for example.